Well, back now in sunny London, and actually, no, it is sunny London. I can't actually believe it. That she's actually getting some summertime in England. It's unbelievable, remarkable. But yeah, so sorry, been a little bit of a delay getting the video out. We want to do a transfer update, but that's going to be recorded later, so that'll be out this evening. But we had an update from ExWHUEmployee on Patreon. So, as I say, I want to talk about the transfers a little bit later because there's a fair bit going on there, and a few couple of players now that are starting to merge as sort of like key targets and players that we're probably going to be pushing forward for, imminently. So quite interesting news there. But there's also some negative news actually to share, and that's regarding the contracts regarding a couple of academy players, Lewis Orford being the main one at the moment, also ExWHUEmployee. It seems that the club basically have not progressed talks once again with our academy players. This is something that seems to be a running theme at the moment. We seem to be leaving everything to the last minute all the time, trying to get things done at the 11th hour with these players. We're not being proactive with them. So basically the situation is that Aston Villa have now approached Lewis Orford, okay? And we understand there's a couple of parts to this. Firstly, West Ham aren't happy with the fact he's been approached. They feel like that's illegal, effectively. I think that's the word that was used by the sort of top source of the club, as I'm sure you'll know who that would be. This is obviously from ExWHUEemployee, but his contacts at the club. But it's suggesting that basically that, yeah, they're really unhappy with the way Villa have gone about things. Now, yeah, part of me is, I agree with that, fine. And if they have approached a player in the wrong manner, then fine, they can deal with that. But what annoys me is that West Ham have put themselves in a position once again. I mean, how often have we done that? We're going through this now with Ben Johnson. We're going through it with Divine Mabama, where we've not dealt with their contracts. We've let it drag on to, as I've said, the 11th hour, and now we're scrambling around trying to get it sorted. We do understand, by the way, that Ben Johnson is about to sign his new deal, so that's really good news. I think Mabama talks are still progressing as well, so they're good, a bit of positivity. But regarding Orford, we've done it again. Lewis Orford, right, 18 years old, is the captain of the England under-18 side. He has been exceptional for the academy. He's clearly going to be a future decent player in this game. It's quite evident that he's got a decent future, and he's a West Ham boy as well. A West Ham fan, been a season ticket holder since he was a young lad with his dad. They're all big West Ham fans and really good people. And loves the club, and yet we're now into the final period of his contract, and now we've got other clubs approaching him, and understandably, which is natural with being a human being, you're going to have your head turned a little bit, aren't you? And I'm not saying that Lewis is looking at other clubs and think I want to go there, but they're offering him decent wages, they're offering him paths to the first team and doing things like that, whereas West Ham are once again dilly-dallying. We're dilly-dallying. Now, I think West Ham will go and sort it. I do believe there's, this is just my personal point of view. I can't see West Ham allowing him to leave, considering how highly rated he is. I know he's highly regarded. As I say, he's been at the club now for a long time. A big West Ham fan as well. But this is not good to be in this situation. It just does feel like with West Ham, it's a running theme, doesn't it, with our academy lads, that we are not getting their contracts sorted. We're letting it drag on and on and on, and then suddenly having to react and panic and trying to get things sorted out. So it's really disappointing that we're in this position. But yeah, that's where we are. This also goes for ExWHUEmployee, dare I say it. Now, I don't know in terms of Earthy, I don't know in terms of other clubs and interest. I don't know enough about that at the moment, but what I do know is that West Ham are in a position where, again, his contract's running out and we're now having to try and get something sorted. And what annoys me with West Ham is I've talked about this in the previous video when I talked about Ben Johnson. They've got that mentality of putting kids on the academy lads on lesser wage, which is understandable, I get that, and they have to work their way up. But the problem is when they start progressing well, the club are always reluctant to give them that sort of oomph, a little bit of pay rise to keep them happy and to keep them at the club. They always have this, and basically it stems from when we had Oxford back in the day, and when he was, obviously we gave him a huge contract, didn't we? I think it was something like 20 grand a week or 25 grand a week, something like that. And that cost us big time, and that was the one where when we cocked that deal up, he ended up leaving, and it was a bit of a nightmare. His attitude dropped, and all these kind of things. I think the club felt that, lessons learnt, won't do that again. But the problem is it's hindering us because we're continually holding back on giving these players contracts, and this is now allowing other clubs to come in. So it's really frustrating. So yeah, the situation with Lewis Orford is a bit of an awkward one now, where West Ham have got to try and keep him. Now, as I say, from my personal point of view, this should be an easier win. He's a massive West Ham lad, in terms of his family, etc. He's been at the club since he was a young boy. As I say, he's been following the club since he was a little boy as well. So we should be able to, it should be hard to convince him to stay, in my opinion. But it looks like we're going to have to now pull our finger out because Aston Villa are very much in the mix to sign our player.